Couple of the most highly anticipated collection of broadcasters ever assembled. Myself, Jay Onrait, and my friend Bryan Hayes, the host of Overdrive from TSN Radio. We're going to talk about this Canadian men's Olympic hockey team, and it's so hard to narrow this down, Hazy, right, to individual storylines. So we're going to focus on two, though, and we're going to start with Connor McDavid. Incredible. On track to shatter the Olympic record for points. He is just dominating out there, as you can see here. Feels a little crazy to ask this question of you, but as the games now get more important, is it possible, Bryan, that this guy from Newmarket, Ontario, has another level that he might get to?
Yes, I do. I do think that is possible, and I do think we should be bracing for it because that's just the way he's wired. I think that's why every athlete is wired this way. As the games become more important, you put more on the line, more energy's there, more adrenaline's there. You expect more out of yourself. You put more pressure on yourself. And I expect that he's going to exceed any of the expectations we could possibly have, which is crazy to say because of the board we just saw. Like when he's on the ice, it's absolutely absurd. It's absurd the way McDavid's playing right now. This is as good as you can play the sport. I mean, he is absolutely on his toes, flying every single shift. And he's got the stats to back it up. Whether it's the old school stats or the underlying analytical stats, they all favor McDavid putting on an absolute clinic. But I think as he gets into the quarters, definitely into the semis, and if they get to that gold medal game, which I fully expect they do, and if they play the Americans in that situation, I think you see the game of a lifetime. I think you see a performance of a lifetime. And I think he realizes he needs it, right? Because we're talking legacy. He wrote a piece in the Players' Tribune prior to getting to Milan where he acknowledged he thinks about his legacy, obsesses over his legacy. Well, he's 0 for 2 in the biggest moments of his career, and those would be the Cup Finals. If you go back a couple of years ago, Game 7 in Florida, where I thought they had the Panthers on the ropes, being down 0-3 and then storming back to push it to 7, he didn't play well that night. They neutralized him. They pushed him out of the game. I think he's keenly aware of that. I don't see it happening again. So as great as McDavid has been through the group stage, that's all it is. He's just getting warmed up. I think he's going to get better in the quarters, better in the semis, and he's going to pop in the final and play this sport, maybe unlike we've ever seen anyone play it. And I know that's asking a lot, but he's that great, and I think he's worthy of those expectations. So I'm expecting more. I think we're going to get more. Buckle up, Canada, because I think it's going to be incredible to see. The best is still yet to come, which is saying something when you're talking about Connor McDavid.
And then the other story that is just personally blown my mind, Macklin Celebrini. Bryan, he doesn't turn 20 years old until June. He doesn't turn 20 until June. He trails only McDavid in scoring in this tournament. He's on the same line. We knew he was an elite talent. Obviously, he's playing incredible in the NHL this year. Second season, fourth in league scoring. But other than the fact that you get to play with Connor McDavid, what is it that has allowed this 19-year-old to have this level of success at a best-on-best tournament?
I got to look at his coach, first and foremost, and give a ton of credit to John Cooper because he has unleashed Macklin Celebrini. He has looked at a 19-year-old and said, I'm throwing your birth certificate into the shredder. I don't care how old you are. I'm going to look at you based on what I think you can do. And I'm going to give you the opportunity to flourish. And that's precisely what John Cooper has done here. A lot of old school coaches, I think a lot of modern coaches would look at Celebrini and say, I got to ease him in here. You know, I'm going to ease him in. He's 19. The stage might be too big. I don't know if he can keep up with McDavid, if he can keep up with McKinnon. I don't know if the stage will just be too big or the lights will be too bright. John Cooper has said, I'm not thinking that way. I'm putting this guy on the ice, and it was the right play 3 months ago. It certainly was the right play a week ago when they arrived in Milan, and it's the right play as they get into the quarters. As I said countless times on my show and your show leading up to the Olympics, only McDavid and McKinnon have been better than him this year. Maybe Makar. There's 3 guys on earth, 3 guys in the NHL that have been better than him this year, and he's continued it. So John Cooper has allowed him to flourish. Obviously, you've got to thank the player and look at the player and say, hey, good for you, man. He's 19 years old. For him to step up, playing on a line with McDavid, he understands how big this moment is for him, for the teammates, for the whole country, his family included, and he is relishing this opportunity. So credit to Celebrini. Credit to John Cooper. And quickly, if I may, before we get out of here, can we jump in a time machine, go back to early January when we were summits? We were having summits about the World Juniors. This guy should have been at the World Juniors. right? Celebrini should have been at the World Juniors. He would have had 45 points in that tournament, and we would have cruised to gold. But our best young players are in the NHL, and the best of the best is in Milan at the Olympics riding shotgun with McDavid. So let's have a little sensibility here, even though it's about 6 weeks too late.
I love it, and well said. Tuesday, we will find out the opponent for Canada in Wednesday's quarterfinal action. Will it be Czechia or will it be the Danes? This is Bryan Hayes.